Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. I am Martina Lily, and today I thought I would give you guys my thoughts on the new Laura Mercier Flawless, Real Flawless Concealer is its full name. So I've been testing this for about a week now and I have my fully formed thoughts on the concealer, and I will use it in conjunction with the absolutely viral Real Flawless foundation as well. Hopefully that all sounds fun and interesting to you guys. If it does, go ahead and do the YouTubey things like subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's get into it. As mentioned, I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on the Laura Mercier Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Concealer is its full name today. So as I mentioned in the intro, I have been testing this for about a week now. I've tried it with other concealers, I've tried it on its own, that kind of a thing, and different foundations, primers, under eye correctors, all that jazz, and I kind of know my thoughts on it. Just keep in mind, this is all my own opinion and like how it works for my eyes, like my skin type, my personal makeup preference, that kind of a thing. So we'll do a demo of this, and then also I thought I would use in conjunction, because this is the foundation that's like in the same line with it, this Laura Mercier Real Flawless foundation. So this came out last year and I actually picked this up when it got released and tested it out, and I think I just did an update for you guys in like a speed reviews on my thoughts on this, and so I just figured we'd use this and I'll give you my thoughts as I'm using it, because it has gone viral on the TikToks. The concealer, just quickly, is about $33 US, and I think I paid 45 or 50 Australian dollars off the top of my head. It hasn't come out at Mecca in Australia yet. I got mine off Selfridges, but you can also get it off Cult Beauty as well. Everything I use on my face today will be linked in the description box down below for you guys. They are affiliate links though, so if you shop through them, thank you so much, I appreciate it. Before I go into the demo, I'm just going to quickly swatch this concealer for you. I got the shade 0 and 1. I always find it, hard to pick concealer shades in general, because my particular under eye discoloration makes it a little bit difficult. I usually need to get two shades and mix them together. This is the doe foot applicator, by the way. It's quite cute. I don't mind it actually. It really does hug the contours of the eye quite well, and the packaging is like a plastic. It's not too light, but it's not too heavy. Like, it feels luxe, it feels lovely. I'm very happy with the chic aesthetic of the packaging. So this is the shade I got right here, 0, what did I say it was? 0 and 1. I think I was thinking I would get 1 and 1 maybe, but I usually do find Laura Mercier is slightly deeper than what I kind of think, so that's why I picked up this shade. It does say that the concealer is buildable, hydrating, precisely covers imperfections, brightens skin tone, improves skin texture, It also does say it's waterproof and long-lasting and crease-proof, which I think is what it says about the foundation as well. All these claims like it's going to do your taxes and change your life, all that jazz. Let's do foundation first. That's how I roll. I won't do eyes first. We'll do them last, just so we can see the products on the skin without, hindrances, if you will. I'm going to take my favorite primer randomly. I know, I will touch on this. This is the Hourglass Vanish primer. And if you know, I used to hate this, but now I really love it. And I'll touch on that in whenever I get time to film my Hourglass full face review. So I'm just going to apply this with a brush over the face. I have combination sensitive skin, if you're wondering my skin type too, and how I'm kind of coming at this kind of review. I am 34 now. I just turned 34 2 days ago. Or probably over a week, or like more than that when you're seeing this. But yeah, so I have 34-year-old skin. Sensitive, very, very sensitive, especially at the moment. It's like really hot where I live at the moment, so it's quite aggravated. And combination, it gets oily in here, but it's also dehydrated at the same time. I know, very fun. My under eyes are like the Sahara Desert though. They are incredibly dry. I'm kind of coming at this from someone who does have a little bit of signs of aging now. I do have kind of pores through this area and fine lines here. Very, very dry under eyes, but also very discolored under eyes. And I like things to look quite filtered and perfected to the best of its ability, in my personal opinion, if you will. That's kind of how I come at this. Alrighty, let's take this foundation now. So this is the Real Flawless foundation that Glamzilla, I think, I've never heard of her before, I'll be honest, has sent viral. And normally I apply it with a sponge, but I got a new Ray Morris brush. So recently I picked up the 27. I got this as a gift and then fell in love with this so much that I had to pick up this one. But actually I'm going to apply it with the 27 first, because if I'm completely honest, I just don't want to dirty that one just yet. So I'm just going to pump some on the back of my hand. Normally I would use a sponge as well. Just depends on the day and how I'm feeling. So I usually will find with this foundation that I'll need to put it on, and then if I put it on with a brush, sorry, I'll still need to go over it with a sponge just to really push it in. So my thoughts on this kind of foundation is, yeah, I think if you have really oily skin, I don't know if you'll like it, but you might, to be honest. I'm not 100% certain on oily skin is my only thing. I think if you have dry skin and normal skin and combo skin, you'll quite like it. But maybe if, like, my friend Melina has oily skin, so maybe if she's tried it, she can let us know in the comments, or anyone else that has oily skin that's tried this. It's not a full coverage. I don't know if that's kind of if it's been advertised as that. I really wouldn't wear this as full coverage. I think it would probably look a bit heavy, but hey, each to their own. Keep in mind, totally my own opinion, and that's okay. We're all different. It's very lightweight on the skin, more of a light to medium kind of coverage foundation, but it does have, like, see how it has like these streak marks, and like if I kind of press my skin, it will get a little bit fingerprinty. So it really reminds me of Rare Beauty, like the Rare Beauty foundation, but not as like greasy and like powderish like. I don't know if that makes any sense, but if you know, you know. It's not as much as that. It's like a lot less. So it doesn't kind of slip and slide around your face as much as what the Rare Beauty does. So what I'll do now is I'll take my Juno & Co Cloud Sponge, and I'm actually going to just pop a little bit more onto my cheeks. Normally I would have color corrected with a green color corrector as well, because I am feeling a bit red today, but I wanted to just show it with no color corrector underneath it for you guys. When I first apply this foundation, I'm never blown away. Like, I'm always just okay with it, right? Whenever I put it on, I'm like, meh, okay. But when I tell you the magic of this foundation is how it wears, that's where it's at. Because as your face, like as you go about your day, it just wears better as the day goes on. Like, it does kind of, probably after about 8-9 hours, it does tend to get a little bit expired, depending, I guess, on what you're doing and the climate you're in. I'm in a really humid climate right now, just for context, so kind of to be expected. You know, it's pretty hot and sweaty around here. In winter it doesn't, it's fine. It definitely lasts more than 12 hours, but it just wears beautifully, especially for, I think, my mature skin peeps, or my anyone that has maybe fine lines or anything. It just wears, it doesn't settle in lines, it doesn't settle in texture, it doesn't like create texture throughout the day. It just warms up to the skin really beautifully, and like just makes your skin look not fake in any way. It really does look like your skin, but better, but perfected, and it just gets better and better as the day goes on. I don't know, at least that's been my experience. I'm definitely keen to see how many of you guys have tried it and what your experiences have been. This is one layer, or like one layer with a little bit of build up around here, and I have like 4K, no filters, no nothing like that. And I think it looks really nice. You can still see imperfections peeking through. There's obviously, you can like spot conceal from here or do other things to perfect that a little bit more if you wish. I wouldn't say it's like super smoothing on my texture. Some foundations for me can be really smoothing for my texture, like the Pure 4-in-1 Selfie foundation, for example. But this one, it doesn't enhance the texture, which is important. It just smooths it ever so slightly, but as it wears throughout the day, it just also keeps my texture looking lovely and natural. Let's do concealer, and on this eye I'll do no color corrector, and then on this eye I'll do color corrector so you can see it. So as mentioned, shade is 0 and 1, but that will also be in the description box. So I'll do this eye first, and I'll just pop, I like to kind of do mine in little layers. I'm just going to use my Ray Morris 27 brush. I've wiped the excess foundation off, FYI. I do like to build my concealer up in layers, because I do like to have a little bit more coverage on my under eyes for my discoloration. So you obviously can tailor your coverage and all that. Also, like when I'm saying my preferences and like what I think about the concealer, keep in mind like maybe you like a lighter coverage concealer, maybe you like a really full coverage concealer, just all those kinds of differences that we might have. Okay, so this is one layer with no color corrector, and then this has got nothing. And to be honest with you, it's actually pretty nice. It really is. Like, it hasn't completely covered my under eye in like that one layer, especially with no color correcting, but it's not done a terrible job. Like if I was if I wanted to, I could probably just really leave it here and it would be okay. And it looks very lightweight on the under eye. It doesn't look drying on the under eye, but I wouldn't say it also looks incredibly hydrating. It reminds me just honestly so much of the foundation, but in a concealer form. It really truly does. It's very, very lightweight, very lightweight. Like, it's so thin, it barely even looks like you're wearing concealer in terms of like heaviness and like texture on the under eyes from that. So I don't mind that about it. And I think, as you can tell, like, the shade's actually honestly not too bad. If it was just like a slight smidge deeper, it would be absolutely perfect for me, but I don't mind the shade. I can make it work. Now on this side, let's go ahead and do color corrector. I'm going to use my favorite one. This is the Sigma color corrector in light medium, and I just mixed the two shades together. I'm just going to take it on a Rare Beauty concealer brush and just tap this. Now every single day I do my concealer, will always use a color corrector, so this is not like, this is a normal step for me personally, but it might not be for you. It's up to you. And now I'm going to take the concealer on the other side with the color corrector and do like the same amount. So color corrector, no color corrector. I personally prefer the color corrector side. It just looks more even, less like discolored, less dark. I've still got a bit of darkness here, and like it looks more coverage as well, like over this side. But again, still very lightweight on the skin. Doesn't, like, it's not dry, it's not too hydrating. Sometimes concealers can also be too hydrating. You probably wouldn't need to set this, to be completely honest with you. I always set my under eyes. It's just my eyes wear better that way. Anytime I've never set my under eyes, it's always gone really horribly wrong, even though they're dry. But I think if you don't like setting your under eyes, I really don't actually think you would need to with this concealer. It's really quite lovely. I'm gonna put on another layer on both, well, I'll do this side first so that you can see, because that's how I would do it. But you know, if you don't need that, or you like a lighter coverage, then you obviously wouldn't go this far. That is 2 layers built up on both sides. I think it looks lovely. I still prefer this side, but I think they both look pretty decent, to be honest with you. At least for kind of like how my under eyes go in terms of coverage, it's pretty decent. I'm just going to quickly set my face with you guys just so you can see kind of how it looks instantly when I've set it. So for my under eyes, my favorite concoction is actually the Make Translucent powder with the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched powder in yellow. You don't need both of these powders, you guys. I mix these together because this is too yellow on its own, and it like makes the perfect shade for me and like perfect concoction, but you could just use one or the other if the shade works perfectly for you. I'm going to take it on a BK113, and this is pretty much the under eye powder I use every single day. To be honest with you, it's definitely my favorite. And if I didn't have the Bobbi Brown, I would just use the Make on its own. And I just kind of press it in there. So that's set, not set. And again, it just looks really smooth, not textured, and very lightweight in my personal opinion. I think they both look really nice. I really do. For the rest of my face, I'm just going to take the Laura Mercier Talc Free Ultra Blur Setting Powder. And I'm just going to use this BKN117 brush for it, and I'm just going to take this side, not this side. I just like to really work it into the brush with the cap and then really press it in here. You could also use a powder puff. I used to always use a powder puff, but I actually find now with my skin, if I use a powder puff, it can actually be too heavy looking, just because my skin just doesn't take it like it used to. But if you have oily skin, like, I would really recommend using a powder puff and like really pressing it into the skin. It's gonna like set it and forget it. That is my face set. And now I feel like my face is really perfected because that Laura Mercier powder just really blurs. It really truly does. So I personally just, once I've powdered, I'm like, oh, this is this is perfection. What I'm going to do now is I am going to go and do the rest of my makeup. I'm not going to do a speed through. I know, I'm sorry. I know you guys don't like that, but I'm just going to keep it really simple. I'll have the products down below though. And then I'll come back and I will give you my final thoughts on like who I do really recommend it to, if I would repurchase it, that kind of a thing. So 2 seconds. All right, friends, this is the finished makeup look. What do you guys think? I think it came out really nice. For context, what's on my eyes is I put this shade from the Dior Smoky Essentials Backstage palette, which this review is coming. I just put that through the crease, and then I got the Chantecaille Elephant single shadow, if I can open it again, which is this one right here. And I just actually used my blending brush and picked up a little bit of that and tapped it over the lid because I didn't want it to be like too sparkly. And for lips, I actually just put the Westman Atelier Squeaky Clean Liquid Lip Balm. Oh, I don't know what shade it is, but it's like the nude one. Overall, with this concealer in particular, I don't mind it actually. It's quite lovely. It does wear really quite well. I think, is it my holy grail? Does it beat out like my Urban Decay Quickie Concealer, for example? Not quite. If it had probably like a little bit more oomph behind it in terms of coverage, I'd probably feel pretty strongly about it. Like it would really be getting up there in the rankings. But I would like it to just have a touch more coverage to it, but that is very much a personal preference thing. I love the way that it looks on my under eyes, especially because it just looks so thin. It's almost like you're wearing no makeup at all underneath your eyes. Like I mean, you can tell, right? But do you know what I mean? Like it really is super natural, and it doesn't get like greasy or gunky under here through the day where my creases are. So it wears quite nicely. I would say as the day goes on, it can tend to get just a smidge drying on the under eyes right here. Just a small amount for me. Nothing crazy, nothing to deter me. I think if you don't have a lot of darkness under your eyes, or if you have mature under eyes or really textured under eyes, I actually think you might really like this one. That's my thoughts. Hopefully that helps, or was helpful in any way if you were kind of eyeing this concealer off and we're like makeup twins. You know, check out other reviews, that kind of a thing. Keep in mind, like, my under eyes are super dry, so like that kind of is my preference there. And yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. Have you tried the foundation already? Are you planning on trying this concealer? Have you picked it up? What do you think? And if you've made it to this point, you know you're an absolute legend. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate you, and I hope you have the most amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time. Bye.